It's New Brew Thursday!
Woo!
And we're finally back in the studio.
Finally.
Feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good.
It's the road trips they're fun, but they're tiring.
They're taxing.
They're taxing,
That's the word you're looking for.
Yeah. Although it is nice because we kind of get that, like, well, at least we do. You don't. But we get that kind of like post-event break, you know? So we're kind of relaxing.
Yeah, we get to take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Actually, doing those shows are easier than these shows because they're pretty much straightforward and to the point.
Right.
They are what they are, so.
Unlike when we get together in the studio and get drunk and start rambling endlessly, and John's like, yeah, that's 20 minutes I have to edit out of that. So
Banter. But,
oh, if you only saw the director's cut, you wouldn't complain about us going off tangent so much.
The CBC was fun. We had fun hanging out with Ashley and her new fiance, husband, dude, Angelo. He's her husband.
Yeah, it's not fiance
the
anymore.
actual
married
We
now.
talked about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the Hopcast, that was fun. We had a good time at CBC, so it was a blast. So tonight we thought we'd come back to the studio, do something that I think any one of our viewers can get anywhere that they buy their beverage products.
I think it's safe to say we're keeping it real tonight.
Yeah, Young's Double Chocolate Stout is probably one of the most prolific beers out there on the market.
It's one of those beers you see and it's like, it seems like it has a very obvious name, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You know exactly what you're gonna get out of this. It's a sweet stout, milk stout, whatever. It's brewed. It actually is brewed with dark chocolate and chocolate essence.
Yeah, it has a whole thing on the bottleneck here that says chocolate malt and real dark chocolate are combined with Young's award-winning rich dark ale to craft a satisfyingly indulgent but never overly sweet experience, much like myself.
I want to say I'm satisfyingly indulgent.
Neither one of you are. Whatever.
Why are you opening another one?
Because you didn't get a full pour.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
And
You might as well top us up.
I'm gonna top us off, you know. And because what's a New Brew Thursday episode if we don't get drunk and crazy?
We had 3 bottles, but I had them in my new fermenter freezer and plug.
Shameless plug.
And I pulled them out and put them in a different freezer, and I nicked one of the caps, and it went psst. So I had to drink it.
Yeah,
Hey, that's almost like an English word, like you nicked it.
I nicked it.
I think that means something different in the UK though.
Yeah,
that's
it's like you. Yeah,
Yeah, nick is like
you stole the third bottle, John.
Ha,
You nicked
jerk.
it.
I kind of did, yeah. Maybe I busted the cap open on purpose.
Cheers to being back in the studio.
Well, actually in the garage.
Well,
We're back in the studio.
I consider your entire house a studio.
Or my brew house. Thank you.
Plug number 2.
All right, off the bat, it smells really sweet. A little bit of chocolate on there.
This is a great beer for mixing stuff into it.
I get any roastiness at all from it.
I get roastiness off.
Yeah, I
of it.
get some, but it's not like
It's overpowered by the dark chocolate a little bit on the aroma.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a little bit of that roastiness to it, but it's not like sharp in that way, you know.
I get that like Ovaltine smell, I think.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that Nesquik kind of powdered chocolate. And I think that might be the chocolate essence.
Yeah. Well, there's just so much chocolate in this beer. It's like.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of chocolate beers out there now. Most of them use chocolate malts to get the chocolate experience versus actually including chocolate in the recipe of the beer.
Right.
And I think because of that now, like, because this is a beer that I drank 20 some years ago.
Right.
Easily. On a regular basis. And
This is my second time having it, other than the bottle that burst open was my first time.
But it's like I think back then it was like such this like amazing experience of like, oh my god, this beer tastes like chocolate.
Well,
you know,
if you just drink macro and you dabble in craft here,
right?
It is. It's a very like.
It's a phenomenal experience the
kind
first
of
time.
tasting beer, you know.
But now that we've had so many of those, and the chocolate is done differently, like using just the barley, like using chocolate roasted malts, whatever, the chocolate experience is almost a little overwhelming.
Well, you know what? I'm honestly not sure if I've had this beer before. I think I have, but it was way back. But it's funny because like. You know, you take that first, sip or two and you're like, holy crap, chocolate. But then you like sip on it after a while and it's not quite as in your face the deeper you get into the glass, you know?
I would say this is like it's a horrible comparison, and I'm very good at making horrible comparisons, so I'm just going to go with it. But it's kind of like the light version of Chocolate Rain.
The ultralight
version. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a third of the alcohol, a third of the body, a third of the profile. But I mean, it's like...
And this is like a fourth. This is 5.2. Chocolate Rain's pushing...
Like 20?
What is it?
Like that? 19? Oh, yeah, look.
19.5.
Yeah, so I mean,
apparently it contains alcohol.
Yeah. Not only chocolate.
Shocking!
Yeah, right.
That's like the, this hot beverage you're going to enjoy is hot.
Exactly.
I wonder why,
beverage is hot.
speaking of that, we're looking at a Chocolate Rain label from the brewery, and some of them say contains, like, Smoky Wood says it. Sans Paget doesn't, though. Like, how come that one doesn't?
Because it's unfiltered, bottle conditioned.
Well,
It's bottle conditioned.
they don't filter anything. Anyway.
Yeah, Tyler. What's up, man? What?
We'll go into this on the next brewery episode that I'm sure is going to happen.
Logistics? What?
Yeah, right.
So anyway, but I think right now is a good time to push you away, dear viewer. We're going to shoo you off to Bill's kitchen.
No, we are
Shoo, you go now.
escorting
We're,
them.
we're
okay.
inviting them with open arms.
Yes. So go watch some amazing food and drink being consumed by one of us and that dude that's kind of on our show.
Steve.
Oh, it's me this time.
Yep.
Hey. All right. Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairings with me, your host, Bill Sisek. Stephen Johnson's with us today. So today, Stephen, we're gonna do the Pale Ale. I didn't want to go with Sierra Nevada. Stone's a very popular Pale Ale. I wanted to go with New Belgium. They've got a great seasonal out there. Dig. It's a really nice Pale Ale. So let's pop that bad boy open and see what it's all about. I consider the Pale Ale kind of a pinch hitter when it comes to craft beers and food. Pale Ale is a great beer with so many things. All your classic sports related foods. Could go with nachos. It's got enough bitterness from the hops in it to match the heat of that. You can go with burgers, fries, hot dogs. Go with chili. This is not a classic Texas chili. Sorry about that. There are some kidney beans in there, but it is have some nice chunks of sirloin, and I spiced it up a lot for the heat because I wanted you to see that you didn't just have to have a Pilsner or an IPA to match the heat of something hot. And it's got a great,
dig it in here.
Great sauce. Some green onions on top. If you guys are fans of adding cheese at the end when you're kind of condimenting up your bowl of chili, you want to add cheese or sour cream. It won't affect the pairing at all.
Sirloin's really
Great
good.
flavor, big, and the heat that's coming from it is amazing.
Yeah, it totally plays up the hops. Almost brings us into an IPA kind of status.
Well, as I tell everybody, you have the sweetness of beer, as Garrett Oliver says, which is great for calming heat. So when you have a really sweet beer, like a German Dunkel, for example, it'll really subdue that. But a lot of us, I know we both do like hot stuff. This will soothe the front and mid palate and leave a nice lingering burn on the back that's not overwhelming and much more subtle than if you were just having this with, say, water, where it'd be much more intense. But chili's really great. The sirloin's perfect. You can have it with or without, beans. I mean, a lot of purists say don't have any beans in it. I know Stephen needs his fiber, so we want to make sure we add a little structure to the chili.
He'll regret that decision later.
Sirloin's great though.
This really works with this. I mean, it does. It beefs up this beer quite a bit, like, because this is a spring seasonal pale ale, so it's a little bit lighter, a little bit less hops, less body, whatever, than you get for some of the other like Stone Pale Ale or whatever. But this really kind of brings it up and like.
I think it's right in that wheelhouse. It's 5.6%.
Well, no, it's in the same. Yeah, it's in the same wheelhouse, but it's a lot lighter on different notes, and so I think it really hefts it up a little bit with this chili pairing.
I would say you're yes and no. You have it definitely works everything you're saying. I think this is still right in the wheelhouse of a BJCP. That's the what?
beer judge certification program.
Yes, perfect. So for those of you out there who don't know that, it's kind of they set the guidelines that the beers are judged in the United States, and so it still falls in those parameters. It's just on farther into the spectrum. So you're right. It does. It is a little light, but it doesn't taste light. I think I'm getting all the characteristics.
I didn't mean anything I said to come across as negative toward this beer. It's
or not negative.
Beer,
I just wanted to make sure people understood when they're buying Dig, they're getting a pale ale.
Yeah, they're getting a traditional pale ale. It holds up really well, but yeah. So I think that Stone's pale ale is a little bit.
I think Stone has a little more pronounced hops and a little more malt. And Sierra Nevada's got that huge, beautiful cascade bloom.
Right.
So if it's fresh, you're getting that great grapefruit notes.
Right.
So, but it works really well. But yeah, chili works great. Now, if you're going with and this has a pretty dark roast, but because of the heat and the spices that are involved usually in chili, a pale ale works great. Now, if you're doing a stew, which kind of could look
kind of
like
a stew,
that,
yeah.
right? A stew-ish. Well, it has a brownish gravy, but it's tomato-based. But if you did a stew, for example, you wouldn't want to necessarily do a pale ale. You want to do a brown ale.
Right.
A porter would go really well.
Because you're getting more of the beef flavors, more of the beef
right.
broth.
You're getting that Maillard reaction, that caramelization of the protein, which is going to match the grains that are roasted in the beer prior to adding to the brewer process.
Right.
So you're going to match up that. But this is a perfect dish with all forms of chili.
It's great for a Sunday football game.
Yeah.
Get a bunch of 6-packs of Dig.
Which is exactly why you can picture this as nachos, because a lot of the ingredients in nachos would be the same kind of things. If we were
Just
dipping this
chips,
with tortilla chips, exactly,
chips,
and a little cheese on the top. So that's why pale ale is such a great, easy-going beer. So if you're not sure and you're having the guys over or the girls over, grab some great pale ale because it works really well with this. And just food in general, so it's a really friendly beer for pairing. It's a great start. You can even pair this with all kinds of desserts and other things. There's going to be a lot of other beers that pair better than the pale ale in many categories, but it doesn't mean the pale ale is not a palatable choice. So anyway, Stephen, I see you enjoyed that beer.
I did.
And I'd like to thank you guys all for coming to another Master Pairings. Cheers.
So we're back. Did you enjoy your meal?
Your what?
Your feel? Did you enjoy me feeling you up?
I enjoyed my feel.
Just, stand close to the monitor. I'm handling your business.
So many new things we're learning about Steve.
No.
He likes to virtually feel people.
I like to actually feel people too, so, feel free to give me a call.
I should totally put something in your hand when you do that. And then put it in my hand. Do it, Matt.
All right, so I guess we're keeping that in. That's going to be awkward. Final thoughts. This is one of the if you have a Yard House nearby you, which a lot of us do.
Which is a restaurant.
Yes, and they have like
chain,
they have like 150 taps. It's like yay.
It's like yay.
It's like yay. Whatevs. They actually do. They have this beer on their blended list because there's like 5 beers that they do that are blended.
Blended? Why?
They blend this beer with a raspberry framboise.
Lindemans.
Lindemans.
Lindemans raspberry framboise, and
that's the first place I had Lindemans raspberry framboise.
Really? I don't like Lindemans framboise series at all on their own.
Okay,
but I do enjoy it in this beer. Yeah, I do enjoy it in this beer.
The first time I had it, one of my friends that just got back from the military. This is before I was even involved with New Brew Thursday. He was like, "Oh, you ever had this beer?" And it was like red. I'm like, that's not a beer. I was like, no, it's totally a beer. And
dude, you're stupid. That's not beer.
He's like, try it. And I'm like, that doesn't taste like beer. He's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? And yeah, so I had one.
But I could totally see like the chocolate raspberry thing.
Combination.
I wish I had a framboise.
This is also it's really, really, really good with ice cream. If you're into beer floats, which I know some people are.
Yeah, I could see that. It's got that. It's got enough.
You look like you had enough. Quit whining, Jesus.
Frothiness.
You have hands.
Damn.
That was dangerous.
You guys need a timeout.
I'd say to separate us, but I have to be in the middle. It's sort of in my contract.
Yeah, it's your designated spot.
We can move now. Don't make me do it.
He's gonna do that digitally.
Now we're gonna have this whole power play. It's gonna be awkward. Anyway,
that was a legitimate threat. Steve was like, "All right, I'll stop."
So anyway, if you're in the Southern California area, and I know a lot of you are, don't lie, come up to the IE this weekend. Not this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yep.
So come up to the IE this Saturday. We're doing the Taste of Brews, which is the largest IE beer festival to date. Not the first one, but the biggest one. So we're very excited about that. We're looking forward to trying some really delicious beers
The IE is
from our
kind of
local
like
IE
an
brewers.
up and coming scene, you know.
Yeah, it's still very much in like its early phases, but there are more breweries popping up all the time, and there's some really great beers coming out, and so it's going to be a lot of like the local Inland Empire breweries, and then a bunch of other breweries from Southern California. It's going to be really great. So
Then
that's this Saturday in Riverside, by the way.
And then June 16th is the Killarney's 5-year anniversary party.
Yeah, Killarney's really good friends of ours.
We've been there. We did a show there.
Yeah, we did a show there.
Past support of the show, which is awesome,
Yes.
and we're doing a little cross promotional thing with them for this. One thing I will say about Killarney's is that for the last 5 years they've been bringing craft beer to the IE, which is awesome because they are kind of the forerunners of a lot of this stuff.
They're one of the central hubs in the area. So.
So we're very happy to be involved in that, and we're very happy for them, and we want you to come out and support them. They're going to have great live music, great food, great craft beer. So come out and check that out.
They usually put on some special stuff too for big events like this. I know for our anniversary party, or not anniversary, for our million download party that we had there, he brought out Parabola, a keg of Parabola.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like, holy crap!
Yeah.
It's like, okay, thank you.
Exactly.
So,
But then they have a special beer that they brewed in conjunction with Packing House, which, if I remember correctly, was Dry Hop Today, which is an IPA.
Belgian rye IPA.
Belgian rye IPA called the Bell Ringer.
Bell Ringer, yes.
We won't talk about the name, David. Later we will.
cool name.
No, it's a cool name. Well, it's an IE thing because there's a bell in the IE thing, right?
Well, it's a rain cross.
Yeah, the rain cross is the bell, but
Everybody says that. It's not a
Belgian.
bell, it's a rain cross. First of all, what the F is a rain cross?
That's just the official name
know.
for the actual symbol.
It's a bell, for God's sake. With a cross above it.
2 crosses. So it's a rain, something, bells and rain and crosses.
Make it rain, gonna make it rain. Gonna
See,
make
we're
it
from
rain on
Riverside.
these
We don't
bells.
even freaking know.
I am a recent transplant to this area, and while I do enjoy living
I gotta
here,
honestly say I am too. I'm from the San Bernardino, Fontana area. So, Matt,
I'm born and raised.
what's
y'all.
the rain cross?
and yeah, what's the rain cross in? Born and raised, fuck you all.
How about you go fuck yourself?
Yeah, that just happened. Boom. Boom. That was all kinds of boom on your head.
There will be a description right down here explaining what it is.
I doubt there will be because John's gonna be like, nope. Every time I do that, John's like, nope, there's not gonna be that.
There will be a link in the show notes.
Only if you do
I don't think
thing
so.
like that.
Come on.
You're gonna have to wait till MBT Brewing and talk about it there.
All right.
So anyway, so this is a great beer. It's a very easy to find beer. Go out and check it out.
Extremely easy.
Play around with it. This is a great beer to mix other stuff, and it's actually very low alcohol, 5.2%.
Yeah, it's a really great, just
delicious.
sessionable beer.
Yeah,
and it's nice
exactly.
because, it's not exactly cold outside right now, but it's still super enjoyable. So,
Right on.
delicious.
So thank you for joining us, and until next week, stay safe and drink beer.
Cheers.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairings with me, your host, Bill Sysak, and of course, Stephen Johnson, one of our most frequent visitors. And obviously, when I say visitors or guests, I'll just start over.
Please. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, you're frequent. I'm trying to get across you're frequent.
We don't need to talk about my bathroom habits.
It's regular.
Yes. And he's irregular, we all know that, so that'd be a conundrum. All right.